Hello everybody, this is Money Mom. I'm going to be uploading this Wednesday morning. I felt a need to do this video because I've had a few people I've spoken to that seem a little bit confused about actually what debt is. And you do hear different theories on this because there's a lot of schools of thought on what is debt, what's good debt, what's bad debt. So I thought I would give my perspective, and everyone may differ on this. So, I know this sounds so simple, and many of you are like, Dawn, why are we going back to the basics? What is debt? Debt is simply owing somebody, borrowing money with the promise of paying it back, sometime with interest, sometimes without. A lot of times I've heard many channels saying, hey, we're debt-free, but they still have a mortgage. And some people, one of my friends, and I couldn't believe this because, to be honest, she's a little bit older, I was surprised, she thought having a mortgage wasn't debt, and I said, well, it is because you owe the bank. So you're not really debt-free unless you don't owe anyone. Example, let's say once we pay off our car and I want to do a 6 months no interest on something. Well, I'm in debt again. Let's say for some reason I forgot to bring money, and you're going to think this is silly, and I forgot to bring money to the grocery store and I had to use my charge card. Well, even though the debt would be very short term, I'm in debt until I pay that. Or if I borrow 50 bucks from a friend until payday, I'm in debt. So, you know, it's great to stay out of debt, but that's what debt is. Mortgage debt, all of that is debt. So I wanted to be clear about that. You're not debt-free unless you don't owe anyone. Now, there's supposedly good versus bad debt. Obviously, bad debt is anything that you borrow money on, especially if it's high interest, that depreciates. Okay, so a lot of people would think bad debt would be a car. That would be one example of something they may consider to be bad debt, or using charge cards, things like that. Some folks think that the good debt is things that would increase in value or you can make money out of. Example, a home. I have met some people that have paid cash for a home. Usually those folks are someone that have saved a lot of money, and they bought something that was a fixer-upper, and I've known of some people that have spent like 20 or 30 some thousand on a home, and then they fixed it up because they knew a lot of skills to do that, or they moved kind of to a rural area where maybe homes weren't as expensive, say in a big city. So I have known some folks that have done that, but most people I know do have to get a house payment. So I would say that a home would be a good debt, because it hopefully will increase in value. As a matter of fact, our home has increased in value almost 3 times its value, which I'm very surprised. Anyway, that's number one. Number two, some people think a business loan is good debt. Personally, I would feel very nervous about that because not all businesses succeed. So I would be very, very nervous about taking out any loan for a business. So my goal, like I've already told you guys, is once we pay off our car, we're below $5,000. My hope and my prayer is I'm going to work the very best I can to remain debt-free to the best of our family's ability. But I know that life can happen sometimes. I would love to know your opinion of what you think debt is to you, and what you consider good debt and bad debt, and what would be the areas you would consider going into debt. For me right now, the only area that I would consider going into debt is a severe medical emergency. That would be the one area right now. Or if something really severe happened with our house, like our whole plumbing system or electric system went out, something of that nature. So I would love to hear your opinion on this subject, and I really appreciate your time and value every one of you. I love you. Bye.